Hi, my name is Stetson Wade. I am a Cache Valley resident, but I am interested in urbanism, and I still like cars, but I think they have their place, and I think transportation is a diet, and America has only been eating one food group for the last 70 years. I was recently pulled over on the side of the road about an hour and a half ago for driving my bike on the road. So, for context, my parents are camping. They're about 5 hours away. I'm staying home because I have work and I can't get it rescheduled. And I'm at my friend's house. It's getting late. It's Memorial Day, and there's school tomorrow on Tuesday, so I have to go home. And he has a little Honda, and he doesn't usually drive his dad's truck, so I just figured I'd ride my bike home because why not? And I'm not too scared of the dark, so it'll be fine. Um, Anyway, I am riding my bike home. I have a flashlight on for half the time because there's no street lamps. And then once there's street lamps, I turn it off because I'm getting annoyed of holding my phone. Anyway, after that point, I'm about 2/3 of the way home. It was about maybe probably like 2 miles. And see lights. I pull over to the side of the road because it looks like they're for me, and I've only seen other 3 or 4 cars, and there's no one around. I pull over. I'm just kind of confused, so I set my bike down, I take my backpack off, and I keep my hands in my pockets because I want to be a good boy. This officer comes over, and his name was Michael Richardson, and he was a nice cop, but he didn't seem understanding or lenient in any context. Anyway, my interaction with the officer goes as follows. He talks to me. He asks, why I'm out late, and I said I was at my friend's house. I want to ride my bike home. And then immediately he digs into me, not like meanly, but he wasn't understanding or lenient, like I said. And he says, I don't have any reflectors on my bike, and that is illegal. And he also accuses me of curfew because apparently in Utah there's a dumb curfew law that says minors under 18 are restricted from public areas between 10:30 and 5 p.m. and 5 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and 12 a.m. on weekend. It's dumb, which is foolish because when you have a driver's license, you are legally under 18. You're legally permitted from work or school, allowed to drive past those hours. And every day that I work at McDonald's and I get home at 12:30, I ride my scooter home from work because scooters can fit in buildings without being an inconvenience and it won't get stolen because I put it in the break room. I'm mad because, first of all, the officer he wasn't understanding. He didn't have much empathy. He also immediately not really accuses me, but he lets me know that there's been some theft in the area recently, and he asks to check my backpack. I explain that there was nothing but a book, a beanie, and a headphone case in my backpack, and I show him that, and he's fine with that. But I got a citation for violation of duty to display headlights. I have a driver's license, but I don't currently have a vehicle because my parents don't really want to pay $3,000 a year for insurance, which is honestly fair, and I don't want to pay for it either. But if I ever do get insurance, and I'm planning on getting a motorcycle because I live in an area where I kind of need a vehicle most of the time, this will make my insurance more expensive because of violation of duty to display headlights. He also demands my parents come home. Initially, he demands my parents come home from southern Utah, which is about 5.5 hours away. And they're camping, they're having a good time, and it's late. It seemed like reluctantly he allowed my friend's dad to pick me up and assume responsibility for me. I'm also mad because reflectors are really retarded. They're stupid. There's no reason reflectors should be strictly enforced because if you're traveling 40 miles an hour in a vehicle, it should be your responsibility to notice things like that, especially if they're being predictable. And it's also the fault of the road designer for not making things friendly to everything, because we're really falling behind the world as far as roadway infrastructure comes. I'm also mad because of curfew. That's a pretty dumb rule. If you lived in any urban area like Salt Lake, New York, Chicago, no one would bat an eye if they saw a teenager riding a bike late. Like, no one would question you, but, oh, I live in the suburbs, and, oh, it's quiet, so if you're out late, that must immediately mean you're doing something bad. It's also stupid that I'm expected to follow the same rules as motor vehicles, yet I'm not provided the same infrastructure as motor vehicles. That is really dumb. Ugh. Bikes are more efficient than vehicles. We need to catch up. Literally, like, one single two-way bike lane can carry 10 times more traffic than one lane. Like, we're falling behind the world in bike lanes, and I'm honestly okay with that, but we need to at least be understanding with pedestrians. Like, this officer was not very kind to me, and wasn't understanding in the slightest. Like, he was calm, he was collected, but he was not lenient, and this is the kind of thing where I think an officer should be extremely lenient. He did say there was, vandalism in the area recently, and I'm glad he pulled over a white kid, because that shows he's not racist, I guess, if he pulled over, like, a Mexican kid instead, but, I'm frustrated. Feel free to ask me any questions, but I'm mostly mad that I'm expected to follow the same rules as motor vehicles, yet I'm not provided the same infrastructure, and there's no license required to drive up. It's so dumb. Ask me any questions. Yeah.